The banquet hall tree is a symbol of the season. It's something that represents that tradition that has really been everlasting since the establishment of Biltmore in 1895. It's an evergreen tradition that will carry on forever. I'm Chase Pickering. I'm one of the fifth generation family owners here at Biltmore. Biltmore Estate opened in 1895 on Christmas Eve. That's when George Vanderbilt unveiled this beautiful estate to his family. He invited 26 of his family members here for that first Christmas, including his mother, Mary Louisa. And that was really the grand opening. And this year we're celebrating 125 years when we get to Christmas Eve this year. That's an incredible milestone in our family's history. So really one of the central traditions for the banquet hall is really the Christmas tree. It is the iconic centerpiece there in the room. Since the beginning, we've had 500 lights and 500 ornaments on this tree. Ever since I was the age 3 to 4, I've been coming up here to Biltmore House to help decorate for the Christmas season. When I got a little bit older, they let me help decorate the large tree in the banquet hall. I remember one year I was hoisting up one of the ornaments on this long pole to get it into the right spot, and it came toppling down and tore down a few presents on the tree, knocked down some bulbs, and glass went shattering all over the place. And I remember thinking they may never let me decorate this tree again, but sure enough, the team just kind of laughed it off and we picked up. I quickly learned I was not the first to do that.
The theme for Christmas at Biltmore this year is Christmas 1895. This would mean we're looking more at the time period when George first opened the house. We like to bring in a lot of natural elements that would have been used at the time, such as holly, pine cones, different natural elements that way, as well as colors that would have been used at the time, such as reds, greens, blues, and golds. My name is Jocelyn Kelly, and I'm a floral designer at Biltmore. So around Christmas time, we do a walkthrough to split up the rooms in the house between each designers that we have on our floral team. We walked to the banquet hall and there was a little bit of a silence, and I kind of looked around and thought, you know what, I think I can take this challenge. So I said I would like to take banquet hall this year. So when we begin to create our plans in January, we start with our theme. We look at that theme and we look historically how we can incorporate it into the home. We love to kind of sit down together. We create mood boards for each individual room, and we sit down and bounce ideas off of each other. We showcase our ribbons. We get out our sample box that shows all the different ornaments we'll be using that year and the color palette as well. And we'd like to kind of discuss what will be going on. Once we kind of have those details together, we spend the rest of the summer adding on all of the different pieces, including garlands, picking out into each individual ornament and ribbon, and then finally kind of putting it all together so that we are able to implement it in October. This is a big responsibility I'm taking on, and I have to make sure that I make it as beautiful as possible for each person that walks through the doors.
I've been at Biltmore almost 34 years, so I believe this will be my 34th tree raising day. My primary task on tree raising day is to basically make sure that we get the tree in safely, that our people are safe, our guests are safe, and the house itself and its collections are safe. I'm Rick Conard. I'm the Vice President of Destination Experience at Biltmore, and I maintain the guest experience as well as the infrastructure on the property. So the tree, actually the Andrews Tree Farm is growing trees specifically for the banquet hall now. This tree's over 30 years old when it comes to Biltmore, but they're grown specifically for Biltmore. The big tree usually weighs around 2,500, 3,000 pounds, so it's quite a lift up into the air, and it takes about 35, 40 people to get it up. It's a great tradition for our employees as well as our guests.
1, 2, 3.
Tree raising day is always filled with a little bit of joy and a little bit of nerves.
When we hear that the tree is coming around the corner to the front of the house, we all run to the front door and kind of peek our heads outside the door just to see it slowly head to the front of the door.
It's a very exciting but nervous kind of feel. because I know what the potential damage is that could be done here, but I also know what's going to happen when we get this tree up in the air and people are going to be so excited, and then we're off to the races when it comes to Christmas at Biltmore.
I always get a little nervous because we have some of the most important tapestries in the world in that room, that the tree is kind of sliding right along, and we just want to make sure that we're getting the tree in there safely and protecting our collection of incredible art in the house. It is really an incredible display of teamwork to see this tree go in from the moment it comes up to the front of the house to getting it in the front door, just like in Mr. Vanderbilt's time, and then there in place in its final spot in the banquet hall.
This raising of the Christmas tree is truly the beginning of the season, I think, for all of us. It's that moment when the tree is in place where we feel that kind of warmth and joy and hospitality that George and Edith gave to all of their guests at the time of Christmas.
It really is a time where we come together as a family, we come together with all of our employees, and we share this joyful season together. And I think now more than ever, we need that time of connection. And with the tree raising a symbol that the season is upon us, and that is very exciting. On behalf of my family and all the employees here at Biltmore, we are so excited to welcome our guests to Christmas at Biltmore this year.